So, as it turns out, I've actually got a lot more footage than I originally thought. So I'm actually going to make a Physio Part 3. I'm not going to wait another year to bring out this one. It'll actually come out like in the next month. Hey, I'm Adam Bose once again. Sorry, I know it has been a while. I have been super busy with a lot of different projects. We're doing a lot of acting stuff. I've started a new job. I've also started doing gymnastics, which you may have seen in the last video I did with my rope climb. A friend of mine asked me to do a sketch on Tonightly with Tom Ballard on the NDIS, which is the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Can't even say it. The National Disability Insurance Scheme here in Australia, and all the fun I've had with that. So the link for that is in the box info thing below. But to the reason that you actually came to this video, Physio Part 3. This is the absolute final amount of footage that I have. The awkward thing about this footage is that this footage actually takes place before Physio Part 2. How did I do that? I don't know. So the footage that was in Part 2 actually took place when I was 4.
What's your name?
Adam.
How old are you?
4.
This footage you're about to see took place when I was 3 and is sooner after my amputation. This is when I started learning hand-eye coordination. So let's get stuck into it.
My tea.
So there was a legit moment of panic in my eyes that you may have seen. That moment, I could feel my knee actually start to give way, and I was like, what's going on? And then I fell. And then Mum saying,
Now what do you do when you stand up?
which is basically I needed to lock my knees back into the prosthetics.
That was really funny. Daddy got it. Yes, you got it, honey. You can't. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Just straighten that leg up.
Honey.
So what happened there was that I could actually feel my leg and my knee start to give way, and so I was focusing on as much core as I had at that age. Now I've got to focus on my core incredibly to make sure that I stay upright and balanced. But then I sort of had to put most of my weight into my legs and making sure that I was actually leaning forward a bit so that the knees would remain locked. And so that's what I was doing and concentrating on that.
Ready? You're so clever. Oh no, darling, look. How about you talk down? But not
You come over, Daddy. Come on. Come on, go. Just
Turn
get in
around.
the door.
Not too big. I can tell. He knows when you move.
So, now, I don't know what Dad was doing there. It was basically so that I'd, you know, do more than I thought I was capable of, is what I see Dad was doing there. But when you try to learn to use prosthetics, it can be a bit more difficult when you don't know where your next checkpoint is to hold on to something.
Good boy. Oh.
So that is an example of what happens when my leg or my knee fully gives way. I'll try to grab anything on my way down to the ground to try and stop myself, but to no avail. And it still happens to this day. Not, you know, often, but occasionally. But it is a much longer way down now that the prosthetic legs are taller than they were 21 years ago.
No, that's all right, darling.
Hey, get your head in there.
Well, that's right. We're going to take you to sleep. We're going to put your legs really close together, okay? Just go from there. Okay,
Now, something I did just notice, and a little fun fact for you, the quality is obviously from 1997 and it's ripped from a video or a VHS, which if you don't know what that is, boy oh boy am I old. But basically it kind of looks like the legs are real, but I actually have cosmetic covering. I have, it was like foam that filled out the leg, and also just like stockings and stuff put over it. So as you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble bending that right leg, but the left leg's bending pretty well. Oh yeah, I get to go outside.
I can bend my legs myself. Yeah, he can eventually bend them.
You'll probably try and use him like his elbow.
I don't see how you can bend your legs.
So, despite the fact that's a bit of a weird thing to end it on, hang on. Yeah, okay. As I was going up the steps just then, I still had to swing one leg out and then bend one to get up. I mainly have to keep the legs straight when I'm going upstairs, because otherwise I can't really get up them. But I know there are prosthetics now that you can actually, there's like microprocessors in the knees, and they can actually bend and really get you up the stairs, which is really cool. So hopefully I can have a set like that one day. But yeah, and when I'm actually crawling up onto the playground, what I do now would be grab the tops of the rails and then just launch myself up to the top. Back then, I'd get to the top and I'd fall forward and then sort of get up like this. And it was sort of like an experimental way of, I didn't know how to get up.
We just went through getting up off the ground. I found that a bit hard, but that's fine. We can practice.
Hey, you want to get down the steps with it? Okay. Alright. That's the one at the bottom. He's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be different when you get to the bottom.
We'll take it.
But,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's a little bit anticlimactic.
Okay. Don't forget, you want to go up the
Now,
stairs
what do you
again?
do with your legs, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, honey, you're
up you
going to
get.
happen.
Oh,
That noise wasn't my head, that noise was actually my... I think it was the ball and my leg at the same time.
no. What did you land on?
Hand on the wall. Okay.
I'll tell you what, why don't we move this into the middle of the room so you don't bang your head on this? Is that fair enough? Okay, how about you take it to the steps?
Okay, you watch Daddy, look.
So what I'm doing here is I'm actually using the ball to help get myself up. And then threw the ball into the goal.
You straighten your legs.
Yeah, you straighten it, you stand up and that'll give you the ball. Is it pretty good a little bit closer?
Yeah, like that.
And lean forward.
Have to slap in the floor.
Ready?
You walk over and kick it then.
Oh.
Good job. Yeah, it'll be huge.
Left.
Yeah.
So the reason Mum was so excited then was because up to that point, I'd generally been kicking with my right leg because I was right-handed. So I was like, cool, yep. And then just kick with my right leg, and then gave it a go kicking with the left leg, and so it's very exciting.
Hand.
Right. Two round. Two round. You say straight on. All right, here we go. Oh dear. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty wild, that one.
And that's it. That is all the physio footage I currently have possession of. It's so cool just seeing footage like that, and for me, and how I started out with my prosthetics and how I started learning to walk. Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm still learning and trying out a lot of different things even now. So hopefully when I get newer prosthetics, there'll be newer stuff to learn. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, go like me on Facebook, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and all the other stuff that I am on social media. It's down in the links below. Also subscribe. I didn't say that word very well. Subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get notifications for any new videos that I pop up. And I'll see you guys later.